What is going on, guys? Welcome to another YouTube video. Now I want to talk about some of the aim assist changes that Black Ops 7 did. It's kind of funny, it's kind of hilarious, but it's kind of not too bad at the same time. I initially thought it was an aim assist buff where they added additional rotational aim assist for your longer range targets, and that's why I thought it created that uneven balance with the M&K players. But having a bit more testing time, right? Black Ops 7 just released and really trying it out, I did notice something initially, but after a couple of changes, a couple of tweakings that I did into my settings, it really went back to normal, not back to 100%. I'm going to agree with that. It's not as sticky as I thought it would be, but pretty close up to the point where, you know, I don't have to make too much dramatical changes compared to what I did before. Now, mind you, I am doing fairly the same, even though I'm coming from Battlefield 6, where the aiming is different, the gameplay is much more different, the controls are slightly different. So the fact that I was able to go back into Black Ops 7, readjust a couple of changes to kind of keep my pace and my skill that reflects the changes with aim assist, I think you guys should listen to this. You know, I gotta give props to where to do though. Like, they really did change how much the recoil is for the SMGs. I don't know if this is just a bug, but I've noticed a big difference in regards to recoil, and a lot of players are not liking it either. Like, you're getting pretty strong both vertical and horizontal kick. Now, mind you, this is just the SMG with no attachments. I'm sure when I level it up more and get more attachments on this, it's gonna be a lot more easier to control. But the thing is, base recoil, even without the attachments, have always been easy and caught. But for Black Ops 7, they cranked it up a bit. So for controller players, you're gonna have to put in a little bit more skill on countering that recoil. Now, I do say if they do keep this recoil pattern for the SMGs, I'm comparing this to the Battlefield 6 SMGs, and I'm sorry Battlefield players, but recoil is much more easier to control if this is how Call of Duty Black Ops 7 recoil is going to be for their SMGs. So let's get right into it, guys. Okay, the idea with the aim assist update is with the rotational aim assist at long range targets, right? You're no longer able to just use your left stick to strafe, and the aim assist, the rotational aim assist, will kick in. Like right now, if I'm just strafing, I'm getting regular aim assist. You can already see that I'm not getting rotational aim. But the moment that I start to use my right stick and I aim, see how you got that slight pull now? I'm slightly moving at the same time with my right stick, but not by much. Now, as a reminder, just for any 1000 controller settings video out there, this is a disclaimer that these are the settings that I use and this is what's helped me. So I'm just kind of giving you my experience to say, hey, I've tried these settings out where compared to the new changes on the aim assist, I was able to make these changes and go back to how aim assist used to be. So if you try these settings and it doesn't work for you and your settings work better, hey, drop it in the comments below. Let the community know so that we can kind of learn and pick up from each other, because this is going to be new for the controller community. They are going to have to pick up their skill a little bit more, and sometimes they might have to change the settings that they've always been using compared with using the old aim assist. So your horizontal and vertical, you know, you do what you do. I think for me, I'm going to stick with 1.4, vertical stick at 1.3. I always like to have my vertical lower than my horizontal because it helps counter recoil a little bit better. I feel like even my FOB at 110, I never really changed it, and I don't think changing this is gonna reflect any improvement that you're gonna get with the new aim assist. I did make a couple of changes on my right stick dead zones though. So on my left, I kept it the same, minimum at 2, maximum at 70, but my right stick, I would usually have it at 2 because I like to have that micro adjustments. I have that light thumb. If you are a heavy thumb, this is the reason why aim assist kind of feeling funky for you. Now here's a quick reminder what I mean by light thumb and heavy thumb. So light thumb, you are able to control very micro movement and gestures. If you ever find yourself buying control freaks or those resistance pad, it's because you're heavy thumb. You don't know how light that you're able to move on the sticks while fighting the enemy. Sometimes there are people who don't have enough practice in, maybe they casually play this game and they don't know how to control their muscle movement. So heavy thumbs will initially jolt. They jolt when they're trying to follow the aim. With most people, when they're trying to trace, they do slow micro gestures because they're used to it, right? They can understand the finer movement. But for people who panic in their gunfights, right? They yank it, and sometimes when yanking it, that's what messes up their shots even before the aim assist change. What makes it worse now for casual players, and this is the reason why I say casual players because most casual players are heavy thumbed, is that with the aim assist change, you have to be more active with your right stick. So what's gonna happen by muscle memory is that you're already jittering left and right on that right stick. But now, because you know you have to actively jitter it and actively move it more, even though you're already moving it fine the way you are now, just by the sheer thought that you know that right stick is going to trigger rotational aim assist, you're going to be even more aggressive with your right stick push. And this is why I recommend that if you are having trouble with the new aim assist update, to up your dead zones slightly. If you had it at 2, for me, I had it at 2, I bumped it up to 5. If you have it at 5, bump it up to 7. Reason being is because you're, like I said, you're gonna be a bit more aggressive because your mind is thinking that you need to trigger rotational aim assist, so you're gonna move it more than it needs to be. When you move your right stick minimum dead zone higher, it requires more to start triggering that movement. So if your dead zone's right minimum value is already low and you're being aggressive with it, imagine when you need to be more aggressive because you're thinking that you need to trigger rotational aim assist. You're going to be overshooting your target much more. Now that I think about it though, even your light thumb players are going to be having issues because with the light thumb, right, they're still pushing a little bit more because now they actually have to use their right stick. What's going to happen when you aggressively push on a level 2 right stick minimum value? You're going to hit your max value on that push way too soon and way too aggressively. That's the reason why I took my right stick minimum from 2 to 5. And here's another change that I'm going to mention, and our linear players are going to hate me for it. Sorry guys, I know I've been playing linear for a solid 2 or 3 months because I tried it out and I loved it, but because of these aim assist changes, I'm going to use the crutch that dynamic has. If you guys have watched my videos long enough, you understand that dynamic, the way that the curve is on the aim is you're gonna have a fast acceleration in the beginning and slow end on the aim. Initially, I didn't want that fast acceleration in the beginning because it didn't give me full control like linear does. Linear was closer to a raw input. I did not want to push the sticks at 20% and move at 50%. I wanted to push the sticks at 20% and my aim will reflect the same at 20% speed. But because of these aim assist changes, I want it back from going 20 to 50. By switching to dynamic, you are actually taking advantage of that accelerated speed on your aim because that accelerated speed will trigger your rotational aim assist faster. You didn't need your acceleration on that speed before because you could always use your left stick strafing to trigger rotational aim assist, but now it requires right stick. That's the reason why I want to switch to dynamic. Hey, call me a linear sellout, guys. I'm sorry for my linear boys out there. Hey, I love linear. I truly did. I enjoyed my moment in linear, but I'm sorry, with these aim assist changes, I'm going back to dynamic. But if anything, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If it gave you any value, please drop a like on the video. It helps it tremendously in the algorithm. And if you enjoy Call of Duty content and Battlefield content in general, I like to talk about both because I enjoy playing both. We can love both games. We don't have to be divided in saying COD is better than Battlefield or Battlefield is better than COD. You can enjoy the game, but also still have criticisms on it, okay? As always, stay pure, stay noble, and hashtag bring back honest gaming. Later, guys.